Kathleen Finato, and I am the Senior Vice President of Marketing at Intercall.
How do you keep your brand relevant?
Our brand lives and breathes in the sales force primarily. We are a B2B company, and we tend not to do a lot of brand advertising. In fact, we don't really do any brand advertising or brand marketing. Our brand lives and breathes in the service that we sell and how we sell it through our sales organization. How it stays relevant is frankly through our salespeople, making sure that they stay on top of what the interests of the company are and understanding what the needs of the clients are, and making sure that stays consistent with what the market's looking for.
So do you have brand communications and brand development activities focused on your sales force?
We do, in terms of making sure the messaging is consistent across all of the salespeople. When you have 900 salespeople around the world, you want to make sure that they're all saying the same things about the company and about your product. So we, several years ago, went through a lot of effort to ensure consistency in messaging and presentation, look and feel, to get some of the basics of brand consistent there. And then in all the training of the salespeople, we ensure that the messaging is consistent, whether the training's being done in New York City or done in London or done in Singapore.
How do you bring your brand promise to life?
Again, it comes to life in our salespeople, and I think the brand has evolved over time based on the culture of the company and how we've trained and really molded our sales organization. That's what comes to life, and the promise of the product in terms of reliability and quality, and maintaining that connection with whoever you as a customer. You want to make sure that you have connections to your own clients, your vendors, your partners, and having a platform such as the services that we sell, making sure that that connection is there. That's all part of our brand promise.
What brands do you think are doing things right from a marketing perspective right now, and why?
Well, there's consumer brands that do it very well. I mean, Apple is probably the one example you'll hear everybody cite. There isn't anything that you can look and feel about Apple and not know that it's relative to Apple. One of the exercises I did with our leadership team to start to evangelize the importance of brand is to show examples on both the B2B and the B2C space of brands. And I called it the hand test. So if I could use my hand and cover the logo, can you tell what the company is? And hands down, everybody knew an Apple ad, everybody knew Apple messaging, without having to see the little Macintosh Apple to know what it was. Similarly, the companies and the brands within my industry that are often admired, Microsoft and Cisco, surprisingly don't pass the hand test. They tend to look a lot alike. In a technology space, I think we tend to get caught up in showing the technology and the products and not talking about the solution. And but those are the ones that are often admired within my organization, and I think I could demonstrate the brand may be very well known, but I don't think they're articulating it in a differentiated way necessarily. Other brands that I think have done a good job, selfishly, I think Motorola used to do a very good job back in its heyday around the Razr and some of the other handsets that they had around there. We had clear brand objectives, and I think we did a phenomenal job we had a nice run there for a while. I thought that was well done.
How do you measure your brand success?
Just started to do that. We've initiated some quantitative global studies to understand what our brand equity is, looking what the key attributes of the brand are that are relevant to the customer and what we think we want to portray. So are they consistent? Is what we're saying to the marketplace, is that what the customers are hearing? And if they're hearing what we're saying, is it relevant to influence their decision? So those are the things we're just starting to measure. We've launched in the past month global quantitative surveys to understand that and just to establish the benchmark so that we can measure it on a quarterly basis going forward.
How would you characterize a brand?
Brand is everything. There isn't one way to describe a brand. I think within my company, brand quickly is eroded to the logo and the colors and the look and feel. But brand is everything about how I present and talk about the company. Brand is the look and feel of the environment, the culture of the company. It's the messaging that we deliver. It's the experience you have with the products that we sell. It's how the salespeople carry themselves. It's what we do when a problem arises, how quickly you address it, and how we address it. All of that is tied into the brand.